Hi students, welcome to Bosco Campus Vision. I am Darshana. Let us continue the topic. Hope all of you understand the background of the poem. Look at the poem. Go through the lines. First of all, I read the lines, then I will explain for you. Beat, beat drums, blow bugles blow. Through the windows, through doors, burst like a ruthless force into the solemn church and scatter the congregation into the school where the scholar is studying. Leave not the bridegroom quiet, no happiness must he have now with his bride. Know the peaceful farmer any peace, ploughing his field or gathering his grain. So fierce you were, and pound your drums, so shrill you bugles blow. Beat, beat drums, blow bugles blow. Over the traffic of cities, over the rumble of wheels in the streets. Are beds prepared for sleepers at night in the houses? No sleepers must sleep in those beds. No bargainers bargains by day. No brokers or speculators. Would they continue? Would the talkers be talking? Would the singer attempt to sing? Would the lawyer rise in the court to state his case before the judge? Then rattle quicker, heavier drums, you bugles wilder blow. Beat, beat drums, blow bugles blow. Make no parley, stop for no expostulation. Mind not the timid, mind not the weeper or prayer. Mind not the old man besieging the young man. Let not the child's voice be heard, nor the mother's entreaties. Make even the trestles to shake the dead where they lie awaiting the hearses. So strong you thumped or terrible drums, so loud you bugles blow. Into the solemn church and scatter the congregation into the school where the scholar is studying. The speaker is commanding these musical instruments to play loudly, that the music to burst into the solemn church and scatter the congregation. And congregation means a group of people who are gathered in a church to worship. Yes, and asking these musical instruments to play loudly, that your music to burst into the school where the scholar is studying. That means this music does not respect any boundaries. It is going into places of worship and scatter the group of worshippers and study. Yes, it is going into the places of worship, study, etc. Leave not the bridegroom quiet. No happiness must he have now with his bride. Again, our speaker urges these instruments not to leave the bridegroom quiet. That means not to leave a groom to his happiness. No happiness must he have now with his bride. That is, it is his wedding day, but not to leave the bridegroom quiet. No happiness must he have now with his bride, nor the peaceful farmer any peace, ploughing his field or gathering his grain. Again, our speaker urges this instrument to play loudly, that the music not to leave the farmer in peace, not allow him to plough his field or gathering his grain. That means this music does not respect any boundaries, not to leave any person or anything, even it is newlywed or farmer or scholar or a worshipper, not to leave any person or anything. Or from these lines, we readers can understand that our speaker seems to think that the war is so important that anything, important that everyone. That's why he is insisting like that. So fierce you were, and pound your drums, so shrill you bugles blow. Again, the speaker is addressing these instruments that so fierce you were. Fierce in the sense means violent. So fierce you were. Were in the sense means to make a loss of continuous manner or action. And pound means to hit repeatedly. So fierce you were and pound your drums. These instruments are playing very powerfully and very loudly. So shrill you bugles blow. Shrill means sharp or piercing voice or sound. That your music is so penetrating, so sharp, so shrill you bugles blow. And also this word shrill is used in a connotative sense that means wail or lamenting, etc. Because we know that the background is American Civil War. So wailing, lamenting, this type of words are closely associated with the war. So we readers get an image that what is going on in the background. Yes, these instruments or the music from these instruments does not keep any boundaries. It does not leave any single person, that it is entering like a ruthless force into the church, into the school, even into the happiness and the lovemaking of the bridegroom, that newlywed couple, into the peace of the farmer, into his field or gathering his grain, etc. Beat, beat drums, blow bugles, blow over the traffic of cities, over the rumble of wheels in the streets. Again, our speaker is talking directly to the instruments. That is, again addressing these instruments. Beat, beat drums, blow bugles, blow over the traffic of cities, over the rumble of wheels in the streets. Over the rumble means deep, heavy sound of wheels in the streets. That is, the speaker is again addressing these instruments to play loudly, that your music to burst over the traffic of cities, over the rumble of wheels in the streets. Are beds prepared for sleepers at night in the houses? No sleepers must sleep in those beds. Yes, the speaker is asking, are beds prepared for sleepers at night in the houses? No, no one should be allowed to sleep in those beds. No sleepers must sleep in those beds. Like the farmer or the groom or the worshipper or the scholar, it seems that nobody will be allowed to get any rest or any type of peace. Then why does the speaker use the word sleepers here? Yes, with the use of such a word here, we readers get the impression that what kind of people are there. Maybe a passive people with passive mind, inactive people, that is sleepers, maybe lazy people. That means people who are sleeping, that means giving not or paying no attention to what is going on in their country. No bargainers bargains by day, no brokers or speculators. Would they continue? Yes, again our speaker continues his explanation, continues explaining how things must be. All these are the normal things that is going on in the country. No bargainers bargains by day, no brokers or speculators. Would they continue? The speaker is asking. Bargainers must stop bargaining. Brokers and speculators must quit brokering and speculating. The speaker is asking, would they continue? Would the talkers be talking? Would the singer attempt to sing? Yes, we readers get the impression that our speaker really thinks they should not continue their normal routine or normal activities. So, we readers get a clear idea that our speaker is insisting. A speaker thinks no one ought to be able to carry on normally during a war. That means war is important than anything. So, bargainers must stop bargaining. And brokers and speculators must quit brokering and speculation. Then talkers must stop talking. The singer must stop to attempt singing. Would the lawyer rise in the court to state his case before the judge? Yes, again the speaker is asking, would the lawyer is going to court for attending any case or something like that? That is, he is insisting all must stop their normal routine or activities and giving attention to what is going on in your country. No praying, no studying, no being a happy groom, no farming, no sleeping, no bargaining, no speculating, not talking, yes, no singing, then no crossing in the court, yes, nothing. The speaker is asking, how can you act like that? What is going on? He is asking if talkers, singers, and lawyers would all continue at their normal tasks in the face of the war. He expects that they would all go on with their lives, and how could they? And speaker almost seems to be expressing a kind of outrage, that is his anger, expressing his hatred and anger, or his outrage towards these people. How could they act like that? Then rattle quicker, heavier drums, you bugles wilder blow. Then rattle quicker means make a rapid series of short, hard sounds. Yes, again the speaker is addressing these instruments. Then rattle quicker, heavier drums, you bugles wilder blow. Yes, asking or addressing these instruments and asking to play very loudly and sharply, that the music is to burst into each and every corner of the city, each and every corner of the nation. A speaker speaks to the drums and bugles, telling them that if people do try to keep on with their daily activities, then the instruments must play still faster and louder. He wants everyone to stop what they are doing and give the band their full attention. Students, what do you understand from these lines? Yes. Beat, beat, drums, blow, bugles, blow. Through the windows, through doors, burst like a ruthless force. Here, our speaker commands some drums and bugles to play their music. And these drums and bugles here are symbols of war. They are military instruments used in the procession into war. Here the tone is command. It is imperative in tone. And we have to consider that our speaker might be addressing a military band. And moreover, he is talking to drums and bugles. That is, beat, beat, drums, blow, bugles, blow. That means he is addressing the military instruments only. That is, not to people playing these instruments. He is addressing that inanimate objects, that drums and bugles, and not to people playing them. And here he used one figure of speech, that is apostrophe, that is addressing inanimate objects. Here the poet is addressing that inanimate objects, not the persons who are playing those instruments. And our speaker commanding the instruments to burst through doors and windows, that is commanding them to play so loud that the sound burst through, that is sound burst through the windows, that penetrating through the windows, through doors, burst like a ruthless force. Here the word burst suggests an explosion of gunfire or even bombs. That means we get a war image from those expressions, that is burst. like a ruthless force. Ruthless means unmindful of others' feelings, etc. So, our speaker is commanding those instruments to burst through doors and windows like a ruthless force. So, from all these expressions, we get that picture, that is, the background is American Civil War. So, we readers are forced to think that there is a military band here, and the poet is addressing those military band here, means he is addressing particularly those instruments only, not the people who are playing those instruments, but he is commanding to those instruments to burst through or to play loudly and to burst through doors and windows. And the music is not knocking at the door or window or politely asking to come in, and it is bursting down the doors and coming in like a ruthless force. That is, we like it or not, that doesn't matter. It penetrates through doors and windows like a ruthless force. Our interest, that doesn't matter here. Beat, beat drums, blow bugles, blow. Again, the speaker is addressing these instruments. Beat, beat drums, blow bugles, blow. Make no parley, stop for no expostulation. Mind not the timid, mind not the weeper or prayer. Again, our speaker urges these instruments to play loudly. They should not even stop for conversation or make any explanations. That is, make no parley. Parley means discussion, especially between enemies. So they should not even stop for any kind of arguments or conversation or make any explanations, etc. Stop for no expostulation. Expostulation means argument. Mind not the timid. Timid means easily alarmed, not bold. So, even if our speaker wants everyone to drop what they are doing and pay attention, it's not for an explanation. It seems like the war is not the sort of thing that can be explained. It is a force that just sweeps through. And moreover, wars do not tend to stop so that they can be explained to anyone. Yes, wars do not tend to stop so that they can be explained to anyone. So our speaker now tells the instruments to pay no attention to the people who are uncertain, who are crying, who are praying. That is, mind not the timid. Yes, does not pay attention to a weeper or a prayer. That is, mind not the timid. Mind not the weeper or prayer. Mind not the old man besieging the young man. Because war does not care about the fear and sadness it creates. It has no feeling or emotions or soft corner towards anyone. So the speaker is thinking that these sad and frightened people should be ignored. Mind not the timid, the weeper or prayer, or not the old man besieging the young man. Such type of people should be ignored because war has no such a emotions or feeling or a soft corner towards anyone. And our speaker is thinking that war is important than anyone or everyone or any type of feelings. So the speaker is addressing these instruments to play loudly and to ignore the feelings and emotions of such weak people. And he is insisting that it is the right time to sacrifice and get into the war effort or to fight for their nation. He tells the instruments not to pay attention to an old man pleading with a young man. Why? Besieging in the sense means, here pleading in the sense means an old man is begging a soldier to leave. Maybe it's an old father begging his son not to join the army. Whatever it is, anyway, it is heartbreaking. All these are associated with a war. Let not the child's voice be heard, nor the mother's entreaties. He also wants the music to cover up the voices of children and mothers. And he urges the military band to recruit men for the war. Men are being recruited to fight in the war. The fathers and sons are enlisted. Never mind how their children, wives, and mothers feel about it. Never mind their emotions, their children's voices, or their mothers' entreaties. The fathers and sons are enlisted. Never mind how their children, wives, and mothers feel about it. Make even the trestles to shake the dead where they lie awaiting the hearses. So strong you thumb, O terrible drums, so loud you bugles blow. Again, our speaker wants the drums and bugles to play so powerfully. Make even the trestles. Trestles means a wooden or metal structure with two pairs of sloping legs to support a flat surface. That is trestles. Make even the trestles to shake the dead where they lie awaiting the hearses. Hearses means a vehicle used for carrying the coffin at a funeral. So our speaker wants the drums and bugles to play so powerfully that the very foundation shakes under some dead folk. Then who are these dead? It does not seem clear. Who are these? Maybe they could just be whoever has died in the town by old age or accident or something like that. But we find out for sure that men are being recruited for war, maybe the dead here referred. It makes us think of those who are dying or will die in the war. The word dead he used in this sentence means it makes us think of those who are dying. Yes, the end result of a war, that is, we lost so many people, the lives of so many people, lost near and dear ones. So it makes us think of those who are dying or will die in the war. And it is almost like a shadow or a foreshadowing of the fate of many of the people being recruited. Because war is a complex force with complex effects on people and the world. It makes sense that our speaker's emotional response to it would also be complex. Once the war is in full swing, there is just no ignoring it and definitely no controlling it. So a speaker wants the drums and bugles to play so powerfully, even to shake, even the trestles to shake the dead people where they lie awaiting their coffin, that is awaiting the hearses, that is a vehicle used for carrying the coffin at a funeral. That means we readers get the image that yes, the people who are dying in the war or will die or in the will die in the war, etc. And he is concluding his poem by saying, "So strong you thumb, O terrible drums." Yes, the last line, the poet is addressing this instrument or those instruments as terrible. He called it as terrible. So strong you thumb, O terrible drums. So loud you bugles blow. That insisting on that we readers get the image that war is a powerful or a complex force with complex effects on people. That's why he is addressing it as terrible, terrible drums. And so loud you bugles blow. Here in the last sentences, that is, make even the trestles to shake the dead where they lie awaiting the hearses. And here a figure of speech is used, that is apostrophe, that is addressing the inanimate objects directly. So it concludes that this poem was written in response to the war, and it highlights the impact of war on people's normal lives, and moreover the difficulties that must be faced and are often beyond the scope of the imagination. And moreover it insists or it endorses action to action means that is called to defend or to get ready or make ready for confrontation, that is to face that cold bitter truth. And here the bitter truth is there is a war and it affects everyone, and it is not a mere simple war, it is a complex force with a complex effects on people and the world. Hope all of you understand this poem. There is a homework for you. Please do it and submit it to me. Please read the poem well. Thank you. Have a nice day. See you again.